Hey guys, welcome back. It's day 91 on our journey to build a $1 million software company. This was a bit of a short week for me, but I got a lot of feedback from folks, ironed out some issues, and tweaked the homepage presentation based on people's reactions. There are several directions I could go next week, so we're going to dig into those choices. Let's go. So this was a short week for me. My brother is coming back from living abroad for many years, actually, and we went up to Detroit as a family, me and my kids and my parents, to meet him. And I actually have a couple of recommendations for Detroit next time you're there. The zoo's phenomenal. I was really impressed with how big and interesting it was. We also went to this place called Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum, which is kind of like a retro arcade mixed with sort of a museum history of arcade machines throughout time. Super interesting, really fun. I was nailing it on Galaga. I turned the corner and my oldest son was like raking it in on this ticket machine where he hit some crazy jackpot. The other recommendation I had is we went by this splash pad that was huge, and they were so nice because they were about to close in like 15-20 minutes, and instead of charging us admission, they just let my boys go for the 10-15 minutes, and they had an amazing time. So the first thing this week was hitting the pavement looking for feedback. As last week I told you, version 1.0 is out, and I really want to get people's feedback about how that value is perceived and what the experience feels like. So I sent a lot of messages, texts, emails, and LinkedIn and stuff like that to try to get some of those people to give it a shot, see what they think. So I reached back out to early market interviews that I had done. I pleaded with social media because this was my birthday week, so trying to get people to help me just from being my birthday. And I think, when you're seeking feedback like this, I guess you need to assume you're going to get less than 1% from the broad network, maybe like 30% from your inner circle folks, and even amongst your closest friends and family, like maybe 80%. People are just busy, and that's okay. So it's important for each of these feedback sessions to really make the most of it. For me, the number one thing is listening to people's immediate reactions to get that low or no context experience about how they see your product and the thing that you're putting out there. This is the hardest thing to replicate on your own because of your entrenched position. It's super, super crucial. And then listening to their words. What were they expecting the app or the feature to do? Like, I think people give clues in the way they talk about things, in the little minutia about how they describe the process. Whether or not their expectations were right or not based on what you're wanting, what put that in their head? Is it good? Is it something that we can use to our advantage, something we hadn't thought of, that we can lean into? Or is it maybe not what we want and we need to kind of alter the context to see it the way we want them to see it? And then thinking about where people are coming from, and does that make their feedback more or less useful? You get lots of different kinds of feedback, and if somebody is coming in as somebody you don't really expect to have as a customer, maybe their feedback is not quite as critical. Still might give you a lot of really good insights and just general understanding of your perceived value, but you may not have to react to everything they do. And then I'm always super prompt and friendly when people are giving feedback. I just really want to show them that I value their perspective and I really am grateful for their generosity in giving their time back. Most of the feedback I got was really about that first impression and making things a little more smooth. So I got a lot of great positive feedback about how fun it is to use, which was really nice to hear. So here are some of the changes I made. So first of all, where to start. So I added this start arrow here. Some people were confused, like, am I supposed to do something over here? And I think I'm trying to make this super interactive to just get the ball rolling immediately. But I think it does deserve a little bit of a eye-catching, like enticing people to get going. I got some feedback that I was missing an opportunity to explain to people what they should make their video of. And that's just something that I think is a long process to really figure out. But it did give me a very quick idea, which is when the page loads, right now I've got these 3 major benefit value kind of statements. When you turn the camera on and you hit allow here, I'm going to have that flip over to say, what should I say? Because now we're actually looking at the camera ready to record. And I expect this to get a lot better over time to really figure out how best to give people the kind of feedback they need to record that video. But I think this is a really good first take. Another one was video mirroring. So this is my right hand. By default, you would be looking at kind of the wrong side of your face. So really great suggestion to do a mirroring of the video so that the right side of my face is the right side of the video. And then the whole feedback experience in general just kind of gave me the inspiration for this section here, which is really just kind of punch up what the value is of this product and kind of dive into the details. So I'm really selling this on simplicity, speed, and just making everything you've done normally 10x better. So if you're applying for a job, use this as a cover letter. If you have a restaurant or a storefront, use this to actually introduce people to you or your store. And I wanted to give a link to my Snaptro page, just a real Snaptro page to show, what an example looks like. And also I really want to highlight the customizations of the colors, because I think that's a really fun way for people to make this feel like home to them. And then when I ran some Lighthouse performance tests on the profile pages, they went really, really well. And I think I want to highlight that because I want people to know that this is a really high performance profile that might help people feel extra good about it. Also, the feedback really led me into nailing down the pricing. So I have settled on $3 a month and $7 a month for the two different plans I've got. So I've got a free plan. It's always going to be free as long as you tweet us once every 6 months with some kind of praise. You can keep the account for free. That's going to be my viral component. And then you can pay $3 a month to just keep that link forever and not have to do the tweeting piece. And then there's a pro version, which is going to everything the starter package does, but also give you the ability to create multiple pages underneath your link. So I've got gosnaptro.com/Colin, but I could also do /Colin/ and then PTSA for school, or some other link for like applying for jobs, or whatever different facets of my life, and being able to create multiple pages. I think people are going to get really creative with that. So I'm very excited about offering that as a pro option. And then I have the monthly billing being a little more expensive, kind of pushing people into yearly. I'd really like them, to go with the yearly billing. So the other nice thing about having, two paid plans is you have a nice anchoring. If people see this pro price at $7 a month, they may be more likely to buy the starter package than they would if there was just one option. But yeah, in general, I just think going through that feedback process was just what I needed to get this right and just to feel good about the value that I'm providing. So where am I going to go next week? What's next? I really have a lot of different choices to make at this point. Number one, I've got those videos back in from the actors who are helping me create sample videos for New Teammate. So I could start integrating those into the platform. So into the homepage and the landing page, as well as the demo video that I'm hoping to make. So these are the folks that have agreed to create these videos for me. I've got them all ready and I'm ready to use them. And here's where it's gonna go. So each person is gonna have one of these thumbnails, and they're gonna assume sort of an identity, and the video will be silent in the background, kind of playing where the thumbnail is. And then I also plan to have a demo button, which will be right here next to the Start for Free button, that's gonna use those videos to show what the actual experience will be like for a new employee coming on. That's definitely one option I have. These folks put a lot of effort into this, and I really want to show them the value by getting something out there. So I do wanna move this forward, but I do have to say that the Snaptro detour is definitely taking precedent over this, and making that demo video is going to be pretty intense. So I think maybe this will not be the thing I do right away. The other big thing on the list here is getting payments set up. So I can't collect payments and subscriptions until I work out the code with Stripe. And I realize that it's hard for me to give away Snaptro for free if there isn't already a paid plan that shows the value. So if I'm on Twitter or social media and I'm offering this to people, I really need to have this in place before I can do that, so that they can really feel like I'm giving them something of value. I've been looking into Stripe here in terms of the checkout process, trying to do a low code kind of situation where Stripe will host all the payments and I can just integrate with that. So I've researched this a little bit and I'm ready to get started on it. But I think before that, there is one other path that I should probably take, and that's building those pro features. So when I do create the payment plan, there actually is the benefit ready and waiting for people to take advantage of. And the other thing I could do is work on the actual pro features themselves, get those ironed out, get the feedback going on that before I build the payment stuff. And that really is starting to make the most sense, because I do need feedback for that. And also, if you're going to have the payment system, you need the product ready so that you can actually show that value. So I've been working on the how do you make what we have today people able to create multiple pages? And I've been working through those features right now. I'm kind of 70-80% of the way through. This is a prototype here of maybe what it might look like. You're going to show your current link here and the ability to edit the link. So pro users will be able to change their link. I feel like that's a nice value. And then they can create sub pages like senior software engineer. If I'm applying for a job, they can record their intro on that page, customize that page just the way they want it, and then being able to switch between their pages here. So I think this is the direction I'm moving, is nailing out what that pro feature set is going to look like. So yeah, all three options I think are very valid. This seems like makes the most sense to me. So next week, hopefully we're going to be able to have this feature set completely deployed and ready. Maybe we'll even get started on the payment stuff because I feel like this won't take too much work to get out the door. So that's it for this week. Looks like next week I am going to be building out those pro features and getting that, possibly even getting payments started, if not even almost finished by next week, hopefully. Let's cross fingers on that. Please like and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you next week.